Hey, this is Matt once again. What about another videos? Another paid request, this time for Jonathan. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, re-reviews, whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the 2018 film Tin, which I had heard of. I remember seeing the poster, but of course I had not seen the movie until now. Now, I know a lot of people would be making fun of the film, and when I heard the general idea, I was fine with it being different because that's what I want. That's why I've said multiple times. I want movies to be different. I don't want movies to be the exact damn same because I've seen so many damn films, so I want something unique. And this film, it does try to be unique, and I appreciate it for that. It's kind of like if you take that old film Laser Blast, where someone finds an alien gun, but there's also trying to be a street crime movie where brothers are on the run from these bad guy gangster types, not gangster, but gang members, led by James Franco. But then it's also trying to incorporate science fiction. Okay, that could be interesting, and there's elements of here that's interesting, but sadly, it doesn't all fit together well. Imagine a puzzle that the pieces don't fit, and you're trying to force the fit, and what do? You try to force it, and some stuff breaks off here and there, and whether it's someone mentioned this was a short film trying to fit into a full-length movie, and I can see what they mean, and it does come off as kind of boring at times. Because the gist of the story, you have this little kid named Elijah who is adopted. His adoptive father is played by Dennis Quaid. It's always nice to see Dennis Quaid, but he's underused. He's not given much to do except growl a few words about you're our son. You're not a replacement son. I know I'm tough on you, but it's to teach you some things. You have a father who does care. And then his brother, who's the actual son of Dennis Quaid, and shut up, stomach. I know. The stomach's mad that Dennis Quaid wasn't in this film more. I know. Because I like Dennis Quaid. I always liked him as an actor. Inner Space. I even liked him in a film called Vantage Point. Jaws 3. He might have been coked up in that movie, but he was pretty fun in that. The more Dennis Quaid, the better, as I say. And my stomach says. But yeah, the brother character comes home because he's been in jail for a couple years. What was it? About 6 years, give or take. Anyway, when that brother comes home, he owes money to James Franco's gang because for protection in prison, $60,000. He doesn't have the $60,000. And the brother character, I forget the guy's name. It's not that he was a bad actor. I'll just call him the brother character. He's a piece of trash that I never grew to like. I never grew to feel sorry for. That's one of the big mistakes of the film, is that the movie expects us to feel sorry for this character. It expects us to grow to like this character, but we never do. Because from the beginning, he comes in and, oh, those shoes smell like shit. He's trying to be endearing. Hey, I'll give you my shoes. Okay, that's a nice touch. But then he's like, hey, better get rid of those. They smell like shit. Or the next scene, well, I came home, Dad, and, figure you put a word in for me edgewise. And Dennis Quaid's like, I'm sorry, man, I can't. Like, you're a convict. Well, you could do it. Wait, but I can't. That's not how it works. I come home and I ask for one thing. You were in jail for like 6 or so years. What the fuck you expect? And then owes money, and instead of going directly and warning him you need to leave because they're going to kill you, he's like, can I have 60,000? I promise I won't ask for anything else. As if 60,000 is, even Dennis Quaid goes, I don't have 60,000. Yeah, but you're not safe at your job. What, I'm supposed to steal from my job? Like, what the hell? Now, yes, he does say that you are in danger, but it's like, it's your fault, dude. Maybe it's your fault. You're the one that got in the prison. You're the one that asked for protection in prison. If you want to save your virgin rosebud, maybe you should have learned some fighting moves. Learn some on don't pay, don't punk. Maybe you should have learned that. So instead, James Franco, who is having fun, he's having fun in this. I kind of liked his villainous character. Because he's a guy that you first meet him, he has one of his cronies in a timeout. There's a point at a store where he asks for the bathroom, and the worker's like, you need to be a customer. He's like, oh, okay. He puts the gun down, ready to take the piss right there, and goes, yeah, I can't go if you stare at me like that. And makes the guy turn around, he just pisses right there. Like, he's a guy that he's having fun as the villain. I mean, when his brother dies, he gives him a fucking Viking funeral. Where it's like, here's a funeral pyre on fire. Fucking... Now, I know James Franco's has been accused of stuff. I don't know what he did and didn't do. I don't know the circumstances. I don't know for certain. I don't. I do know I liked him as an actor. I've liked him in quite a few stuff. 127 Hours, Your Highness, Pineapple Express. I thought he did a good job here. And my stomach agrees. Shut up, stomach. I know. I haven't eaten yet. It's my fault. And my stomach's pissed at me. So it's giving me the third degree. Trying to sound like Dennis Quaid in this. And yeah, the brother tier's just a piece of shit. Like, when he's arguing because he doesn't get 60,000, he's like, well, yeah, I don't have my room anymore, and, your replacement son took over my room. So he's being an asshole. He called the Elijah Little kid a replacement son. Because that brother is he's related by blood to Dennis Quaid. Because, again, Elijah's the adoptive kid, but... Oh, you may be wondering, how the hell does the space gun get into this? Well, Elijah's looking around a warehouse trying to find stuff to sell. And finds some dead bodies of what looks like people in these military type of suits. And there's this weird gun. At one point he comes back, finds the gun, and the gun will only turn on when he holds it. And I love the look of the gun. I do. I love the look of the gun. I want a gun of that of my own. And here's the thing. Believe it or not, when I was a kid, I had an idea of a movie. This is before I even knew Laser Blast. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's a very bad movie. Low budget bad movie where these claymation looking aliens, they accidentally leave a gun, or I don't know if they accidentally on purpose they leave a gun. See, think of a Laser Blast. If you didn't see that, my lungs definitely lurched down my body because it didn't want me to talk about Laser Blast. It's an awful fucking movie. I think there's another movie with the kid from Elm Street 3. You know, the one that couldn't speak, and then he yells at the end, Joey. He was in a film about someone finding a alien gun. And that was a bad movie, too. I always see, of the three movies I've seen, this is the best of those three. Because at least the look of the film is decent. It's not a bad made film in terms of look. The music fits it well. It's fine. The music is fine. The acting's not bad. Like, James Franco's having fun. The kid, Elijah, he's a little bit wooden. But at the same time, I've seen much worse kid actors. He's decent. He's alright. And even the brother kid, it's not that his acting's bad, it's just that he's a very poorly written character where there's no reason to feel bad for him, or he really gets no redemption arc, in my opinion. And the thing is that the sci-fi and crime elements don't blend together the best, because there's good chunks of this movie you will completely forget there's any sci-fi aspects. And then out of the blue, oh yeah, there's these two people on motorcycles, and they're looking at a scene of a crime, and they're using a device to see holograms. And then the rest of the, like, good 20, 30-minute chunks, it's just these two brothers, because the one brother finds Dennis Quaid. Actually, that's a reverse. Dennis Quaid is going to his job with Elijah, the little kid. He tells the kid to stay in the car, goes into the place. There's the brother character with James Franco trying to get the money out. The guy tries to warn his dad. James Franco shoots Dennis Quaid. The brother tries to stop it. Ends up shooting James Franco's brother. Dennis Quaid dies. The guy runs out, tells his brother, not that their dad is dead, but he told us to meet him at the lake. So we're going on a road trip. So he lied to his brother. And it becomes a road trip movie. And to be honest, the road trip movie isn't that exciting. I don't feel much of a bond created between these two. I mean, the most that happens is they go to a strip club. They meet a stripper played by Zoë Kravitz. I have no idea why the hell this stripper character is in this, because she just tells a few stories about her backstory and why she ran off because her parents were abusive, and that's really it. Like, there's really no other reason why she's here. And the potential of this cool gun is underutilized, because you really only see its potential at the very end, like the last 15 minutes of the movie. Well, there's one scene where he pulls out the gun and he shoots it, because after the strip club scene, where the brothers, once again an asshole, jumping on stage trying to dance with a stripper, and he gets thrown out. And at one point, he pulls out the gun, he blows up a pool table. And then you would think when more people see this gun, they're going to want to try to steal the gun. What the hell is that gun? That gun must be worth a fortune, and there must be a way to sell it, to use it, and it's all going to be about getting this gun. No. Like, nobody else seems to want the gun, or seem to want the gun, or seem the gun is that crazy. Or they see it's a little bit crazy, but it's like, no. At one point, they try to rob some people, and the kid uses the gun again, blows up a car. So, yeah, there are a handful, but it's just very underutilized for how cool the gun is and how the premise. And I mentioned before, I had this idea as a kid of, I think a lot of us had the idea of a kid of, what if you're looking one day and you find a space gun with unlimited ammo? What would you do? What would you do? Like, imagine a kid version of Falling Down, and he had this gun. I'd actually see that movie. Of course, the tough thing is, how do you make the kid likable and not want to hate him? Because if he's using this gun, he's being so irresponsible. How do you utilize that? Either you go full out, like, comedic, crazy black comedy route, or what? I don't know. That's kind of the hitch in that plan of how do you do that. But like, a good chunk of this movie just came off as rather boring, because I don't buy the trying to build up camaraderie between the two brothers. Because the one brother's too much of an unlikable douchebag. I didn't bring a little kid to a strip club. Make a little kid help you rob people. Not telling him that your fucking dad is dead and you helped cause the fucking death. And just so unlikable piece of shit that this whole bond thing feels false. And it feels like there's barely a bond between the two. It tries, or it thinks it tries. Now, is this a rant? I mean, it is, but it isn't. Like, there's aspects of it I don't mind. Like I said, I don't mind the way it's filmed. I don't mind its music. I don't mind the gun, the look of the gun when it's utilized. I think it looks kind of cool. I don't mind James Franco. I think maybe if this was a tighter paced movie and the gun was utilized more, utilize Dennis Quaid more. And hell, let it be about Dennis Quaid and the kid. Not fucking like if the brother was in trouble or if the brother was killed and Dennis Quaid and the kid were on the run. Like, I would rather prefer that it was Dennis Quaid and the kid. And Dennis Quaid's about responsibility, but at the same time he realizes that his son can use his gun and needs to trust his son. That'd be cool. Dennis Quaid's teaching responsibility to the son, but he also has to realize he has to trust the son's instinct at some point. That, his actual son was a troublemaker that got himself killed, is almost getting themselves killed. But this adopted son is the son he wanted, is the son he we might not be related by blood, but you're more of a son than he was. And that might seem mean, but I mean, I'm sorry, that's fucking true. Truth hurts. And I think if it's Dennis Quaid following with this kid, and the kid's like, you gotta trust me, Dad. I'm going to help save us. Sometimes there's elements, I know I can't over abuse it. Maybe there's a point that he's ready to kill the guy in cold blood, and Dennis Quaid talks him down to do the right thing. And maybe don't have it where only he can use the gun. Have it be like anybody can use the gun. And now it becomes these bad guys that first want the money. And it's like, fuck the money, we want the gun. And that's why if we're able to use the gun, they'll use it to rob places. They'll use it to rob more money. They'll sell the gun, whatever the hell they want to do. So it's James Franco versus Dennis Quaid. And then James Franco's ready to kill the kid, and Dennis Quaid gets the gun. Stay the fuck away from my son. Uses the full thing and blows like a big hole. And Dennis Quaid's like, and they use a little bit of that inner space comedy, like, shit, son, never do what I did, okay? So he turns it all the way up and blows James Franco away. That would be so much of a better movie. Dennis Quaid with the kid, and then Dennis Quaid gets the gun. Stay the fuck away from my son. Because he's a character that's away from violence, but he's able to utilize violence to save his son, and he bump it up all the way, all the notches of the gun, overkill. Oh shit, son, never do that. Never do what I did. Like, that would be so much better of a movie. Instead of this piece of shit brother character that we have no reason to care about. And we don't care about the bond between the two. And you force this stripper subplot out of the blue just because it's Zoë Kravitz. Like, this whole middle section is pretty boring. Other than when James Franco pops up. Or when the gun pops up. So then they get arrested, the two brothers. And the one brother's trying to explain to him, but it seems like the little kid's not buying it. I don't buy him, as in you still got dad killed, all that stuff. And then James Franco and his team go into the police station as if they were the Terminator, and these cops are fucking foolish. Like, come on, like the cops, these people go into the police station. Like, one cop, she doesn't understand that she's shooting at bulletproof glass. Like, you work there. You're a police officer, lady. And James Franco's literally just put the gun into this little hole and shoot the cop. I'm like, are these cops that fucking stupid? That fucking incompetent? I mean, if it's Rutger Hauer's The Hitcher, I buy it. But here, it's like, look how stupid these cops act. They couldn't protect the fucking candy store, let alone work at a police station. They couldn't protect, I don't know, the fucking flea circus. Let alone, what the hell? To the point that literally a cop looks at the little kid and gives him the keys in order to get his space gun. Because you all suck. You, you suck at your job. Now, you do get some fun space gun usage. I wish there was a lot more of that. And super spoilers, these two people on motorcycles throw this time grenade that freezes everything but the little kid. And they open up their visors, and one of them is Michael B. Jordan. And you know what? He actually wasn't that bad. Now, maybe because Michael B. Jordan, if he's used the right way, like in Chronicle, I actually didn't mind him in Fantastic Four. I didn't mind him in this. He didn't come off as a prick like in Creed, any of the Creed films. He actually wasn't that bad. About he's from another world, and the little kid is from another world, and that's how you can use that gun, just like I can. We both have the same star, and apparently Michael B. Jordan is his brother, and we put you here to be safe. And it's like you're dumping all of his like exposition right now, this information overload of dumpage to set up, I guess, a sequel that will never happen. We'll need you sometime. Not right now, but sometime we don't need you because we're fighting a war. I'm like, where is all this coming from? It's like this big information dump. And then open up, they literally break open a portal and they leave. I'm like, this could actually maybe be potentially interesting. You save it for the end. And they take a bullet and they put it towards James Franco so that when they unfreeze time, it goes into him. I guess that goes to the whole title of Kin. You may feel like you're alone, but it doesn't mean you are alone. Or you may be by yourself, but it doesn't mean you're alone. You protected your brother, just like I'm going to protect mine. I'm doing, like, you're doing a shit job protecting him, since he had to go around with his space gun and shit. So they go back to their world, and they unfreeze time, and James Franco gets killed, and the brother's going to be taken to jail for a bit, and the little kid, I don't know where he's going to go. Is he going to try to live with Zoë Kravitz? Is he going to live in foster homes? Is he going to... I don't know what he's going to do. I just set up for a sequel that's never going to happen. So yeah, Kin is one of those movies that... Like I said, if it was about the kid and Dennis Quaid on the run, where you use more of this gun... It's more about Dennis. Even if you want to have that ending, you can if you want. Sure. If it freezes. Like you freeze like when the cops come in. Like the cops coming in and they freeze and maybe Michael B. Jordan talks to Dennis Quaid and goes, "You've been a good father to him." I don't know, some kind of other dialogue you could fit into, I don't know. It's just, again, the middle portion being so boring of a road trip movie, the sci-fi space gun aspect not utilized as much as it could have been. The poster seems like it could be a kid's film, but it's not a kid's film at all. And it's like all these elements being put together, but it doesn't mesh the best. It doesn't mesh... the whole puzzle doesn't fit correctly, and that leaves a lot of issues where I think there's potential there. James Franco being the villain, the cool looking space gun, even the little kid wasn't that bad. It's just with the information exposition dump at the end, and the brother character being such a piece of shit that I never liked him at all. By the end, I still didn't like him, and all these other aspects. There's a lot of potential underused, not nearly fulfilled, and it's actually kind of too bad. So, it's a rant, but it's not a rant. It's, you know, I would say I disliked it more than liked it, and it's too bad. But that's my thoughts, my jumbled thoughts on Kin. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.